huge achievement for them because they have barely won games at the AFCON. And so it's a huge, huge deal. And Gabon are close to elimination because they lost by 3-2 to Mozambique. Algeria also narrowly won their game by a 1-0, whilst the biggest game of the weekend was Ivory Coast versus
Burkina,
Cameroon.
Right? Okay.
Yeah.
Burkina was also played.
Yeah, Burkina lost to Algeria.
Yeah.
And then Ivory Coast drew 1-1 with Cameroon in the AFCON. But today's games are very, very exciting because we would have the likes of Morocco in action, the likes of Angola in action as well. And as you can see, Angola will be facing Egypt. Very, very big game. Zimbabwe will face South Africa. That's also an interesting one. Comoros versus Mali. And then Zambia will be facing host Morocco later today in the AFCON. So very, very exciting matches to watch.
Yeah. What else do we need to know?
Oh.
That's your PE pants. That's your PE pants. Oh. Okay, let's look at the fixtures.
So you can see the fixtures over there. But Beatrice, you've never stated.
She doesn't even have a jersey.
You've never.
Doesn't even have a jersey.
Oh, now I showed you this jersey.
Oh, Jesse's there.
Yeah, I showed you the jersey.
There's a jersey and there's a PE pants.
I'm going to bring you an extra one. I've already placed an order for you to get one.
So how do you feel when you're wearing that jersey in town? Do people look at you?
Please, what else do you have? Okay. Well, that's it for sports. Thank you very much, Billy Shan, for bringing us the latest in sports.
What about me?
For against sake, now also joined. Thank you very much for coming. But I know it's a game. Heart to folk. We will see. We will see. Thank you very much. Hi. Okay. Now, Optima Solar Systems offers reliable solar energy solutions in Ghana, including solar panels, lithium batteries, water heaters, water pumps, and solar-powered CCTV. They provide installation, ongoing maintenance, repairs, and even comprehensive solar insurance against theft, fire, flood, and more. Flexible payment plans are available. The services suit homes, farms, and businesses, helping customers cut electricity bills. Yes, and gain energy independence and support the environment as well. You can call them on 030-824-9900 or 050-502-3472. You can check out their website on www.optimasolasystems.com. Social media, Instagram, Facebook at Optima Solar GH. You're still here on Newday on TV3. Stay with us. We're back with some more.
Aqua House of Folk has made me so proud and happy to be a Phobian. We're nearing the end of the year, and this time of the year is a time that a lot of us look at our monies and then we feel uncomfortable because December is expensive. By the time you send the hampers and the cake and the rice and the oil and the nkukon ketinketi and the frozen meat, that's the kind of asa. A lot of us find ourselves borrowing money in January. It's very difficult to find who to borrow money from because the money is just not there. We do this every year. But this year, we hope that we can do differently, all right? We hope that we can plan the year properly in terms of our finances, our taxes, our savings, all of it. Proper financial management is important for a happy life. And so, on the show today, we're joined by finance and tax expert, Mr. Kwagbeji, Mr. Nelson Kujo Kwagbeji, to help us properly plan 2026. Merry Christmas to you, sir.
Many, many happy returns.
You're welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
You're the only finance and tax person I know who smiles. But even that, you try to manage it a bit.
Yes,
because
yes.
It's not a funny matter.
Sure.
All right.
Issues of money are a different ball game altogether.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. Now, we're talking about properly planning our finances for the year 2026. Let's start from the top. What are the things we need to consider as we plan for our year?
All right. That is a very broad topic. That is a very broad one. But, planning is very important in every sphere of life. Even government, in terms of public finance, you hear of the finance minister coming to present budgets, detailing the government expected revenue and expected, expenditure. So even at that level, there is always planning. And when you come to the corporate sector, you will see companies going for strategic sessions, also planning their finances for, the ensuing financial year. And so at the household level, at the personal level too, it is important to actually plan your finances so that you will not be, caught unaware, most especially times that in this Christmas season that there is so much expenditure to be made. It is always important to plan your finances very well so that you can remain afloat. If not, once you sink, that will be the end of it. Now, back to your question, you ask of what are some of the factors to take into consideration.
Yeah.
I think that one of the issues that you need to take into consideration has to do with your own personal budgeting. You see, when you draw your personal budget, you know the kind of expenditure that you have to incur at what particular time, and you also know your inflows in terms of cash that you are expecting. Because if you have the expenditure, for the expenditure, they are always looking at us, irrespective of the fact that you don't have money. Because you need to pay for bills, you need to pay for groceries, you need to pay for electricity, you need to pay for even data. And so it is important to put all those things in the right perspective in the form of a financial plan. You know the total expenditure you have, you know what are the inflows that are coming in. You juxtapose your income against the expenditure, then you know whether you are going to make.
Are you supposed to do this with are there some tools you can use to do this? Like, do you need an Excel sheet?
Well, a simple Excel sheet
Excel
can
sheet.
actually help you in doing that, because
Okay.
at the end of the day, on monthly basis, you know the kind of fixed expenses that you incur, you know the variable expenses that you incur.
Okay,
and
what
you
are
also
variable
know,
expenses?
well, variable expenses are expenses that changes, I mean, from
As and
time to
when.
time, as and when. And so, for instance, maybe in the month of November, you incur, let's say, 2,000 cedis on groceries. But for the month of December, because of the hampers and the rest, you may end up incurring about
Less.
6,000, even
Oh, more, right.
more on, you know, groceries. And so those are variable expenses. Then there are certain expenses that we call irregular expenses. You will just see something online, you'll be like, oh, I need to get this. Those are not actually part of your plan, but then you have to get them. And so you need to classify your expenses, then you can, you know, tackle them one by one.
Okay. Now, I hear many people say that the amount of money they spend in a month is higher than the amount of money they actually make. And this is something we hear very often. We are all managers. We are all miracle workers in this country because we don't earn as much as we spend. For people with this mindset, what would you say to them in terms of their personal finance management?
Well, if you spend more than you earn, and then the question that you have to ask yourself is, where are the sources of the extra, you know, cash? Because if your salary is, let's say, 1,000, but you are spending, let's say, 1,300 every month, how then do you finance the extra 300? It is either you are falling on your investment or you are borrowing. And that is also another, you know, issue. But because before you can even go to the banks to borrow, the banks will also take so many factors into consideration. And one of the causes, you know, even at the governmental level, we always say debt to GDP, debt to GDP. At the personal level, too, we have what you call debt to income. And so if every month you are spending about 40% of your income, I mean, servicing your debt, paying your debt, then it means there is a challenge. So you need to ask yourself, from which source am I getting the extra income to meet the, you know, expenditure? Sometimes we borrow, but we just don't know. I mean, you call a friend that, oh, Charlie, can you dash me some 500 Ghana cedis or something of that nature? Or better still, you fall on your investment because there was no way you will spend money that you don't have. And so if your expenditure in a month is 1,000, but you end up spending the 1,500, then you ask yourself, from which source am I getting the extra 500?
Okay. Now, it is usually from borrowing from friends and family.
Yes.
That's what we know.
Yes.
Friends and family, from your employer, just people around you. In terms of personal finances, it's usually not so much bank loans and so on. But somebody told me some time ago that when you're planning for your, you know, your personal finance management, the first thing you need to consider are your savings and investments.
Sure.
All right. Tell us about it.
All right.
For people
So
who are not very
when you look at
financially
the personal financial management cycle, it begins with income. You earn the income. Then some may decide to, the next step to go is spending. Then after spending, you do savings. After savings, you go to investment.
You spend before you do savings?
Some may do that.
Okay.
Then from investment, then you go to protection, insurance, because you pay your insurance premium, your card, and all those things. But the prudent thing to do is that once the salary or the income hits your account, the first thing is to pay yourself first.
Pay yourself?
Yes.
From your salary?
What you told me offline earlier on, that you put what is the
January
name?
money away.
Exactly. So you automate it.
Yeah.
So as soon as it hits your account, the bankers will take it and put it into savings or invest. So even though it's a salary to you, you must also pay yourself first. Then once that is done, then you can now go ahead to spend. Don't forget that if you don't do that, by the time you realize, the account is zero. And so it is always prudent to allocate about 40% of your income to savings and investment, and then the 60%.
40%?
Yes, depending on how much you earn.
So if you earn 1,000 cedis,
yes,
you must save 400 cedis.
400 cedis.
And invest
you must save and invest 400 cedis.
Okay.
Then depending on your expenses for the period or the month, then you spend 60% of it. And if you do that continuously, uninterrupted, you end up building a lot of wealth for yourself.
Okay.
And the thing is that there is a clear-cut difference between investment and savings. I mean, most people normally confuse the two.
What's the
but they are not.
difference?
Okay. In terms of purpose, investment is to generate wealth. And so you invest for capital gains or for, dividend, depending on the instrument that you are investing in. So investment is normally
to gain.
To gain. So your income, you invest some, you get additional income, you get your dividend, you get capital appreciation and all that. But for savings, it's just something that you put aside to lay your hands on. So it can be in a form of, savings account at the bank. And so when you open a savings account at the bank, it's not the same as buying treasury bill or bonds with any of the investment houses. Then in terms of liquidity, savings is more liquid than investment because you can just go to the bank, sign your savings withdrawal booklet and we take your money. But with investment, you have to either wait till maturity or you discount it. So these are some of the differences. Then in terms of, risk, investment is more, it carries a lot of risk. We've seen it in this country where there was a haircut on investment. But, with the banks, with your savings account, you can just go there at any time to actually take it. So that 40% that you are actually putting aside, you can decide, okay, out of the 40%, I'm going to use about 60% for investment and 40% for, savings. So you can rely on your savings as and when the need arises, whilst you defer your investment into the future for spending.
Another thing a lot of us grapple with is debt. Okay? It appears it's a vicious cycle. By the time your salary hits your account, it's already spent because you owe somebody, you owe school fees, you owe something that has to be paid. Is it possible, considering our salary levels and the cost of living in this country, for an average salary earner to be debt-free?
Well, this is a very difficult question because I have always been saying that as for loan or debt, if you don't need the money, don't go in for it. And so it is a matter of living within your means. If you want to live, above your means, you end up taking that facility or that loan. The banks are always there to give you the personal loans that you want. But I think that we have a lot of people in this country who are just average workers without any issue of debt.
So it's possible?
So it's possible.
Okay.
Now, before the banks will also give you the loan or the facility that you want, they also take into consideration a lot of factors. And one of them is cash flow. Now, they look at from which source are you going to pay back the money that you have taken. So in banking, we call it a debt service ratio. And so there is a limit that you must have before you can. Most public sector workers, they call it affordability. So they will tell you, Charlie, I'm not having affordability. Which means that they go to the bank, all right, but having considered their pay slip, the bank realized that they don't have the capacity to actually pay back. And so when you give loan to that person, the chances of he defaulting is very high. And that will also shoot up the NPS.
But that's the bank.
That's the bank.
But people often will take loans from their friends and family.
Yes.
You have a number of people who you can fall on if you are in a tight spot.
Certainly.
And they would usually give you.
They will usually give you.
And by the time your salary comes in,
then you have to pay them. Because he knows that end of month, you take your salary, so he's also expecting his money back. And so the thing is, it's very simple. If you don't need it, don't go in for it.
So it is possible?
Yes, it is possible. It is. I'm sure you are also debt-free.
Yes, I think I am. But
okay.
When I ask about the average salary earner, I mean a person who has one stream of income, only one,
so that
probably
has
a child or two,
exactly,
has a spouse, they have bills to pay, they have fees to pay. And so I have multiple streams of income. So I'm not the typical case here. This is the average Joe.
Okay.
Because the issue of personal finance planning, oftentimes, as I have come to see it, is not because people are extravagant in their spending, but it's just really because it is difficult to see it as possible to live well, save, invest, and be debt-free. You see?
Yes.
I don't want us to talk about the ideal situations. I want us to talk about the real situations that, the average Joe faces. You have 2 children. They go to school. You have 1 job, right?
Sure.
You want to save. You want to invest.
You want to spend.
You want to spend. And you want to be debt-free.
Yes.
While paying your rent, paying utilities, paying their fees, paying for healthcare, paying insurance, paying property rate. I mean, all the many things that is it like realistically?
Yes, it's possible.
We can do this.
It's possible. Yes, you can do it. So as I did indicate, you can only do this if you are actually living within
your means.
Exactly. But if you want to go beyond that, that is where you face some of these challenges.
These challenges.
You see, another thing that I will quickly add, you've already mentioned it, has to do with streams of income. If you are somebody who works from 8 to 5, and you don't have somebody who says side hustle, then it becomes difficult, especially living in Accra. I mean, you wake up, your landlord is looking at you, have to pay rent. There are certain fixed expenses that you have to take care of at the end of the month. And so if you know that one stream of income is not sufficient to take care of your expenses, then it means that you have to look for alternative means of earning, income, so that, it can be sustainable. If not, then you fall into the category of people who are working, yet they are so much in debt.
Yes, a lot of people live from hand to mouth, really. Salary, spend. Salary, spend. Now, that's a good case. Because for many others, it's salary, spend, debt. Salary, spend, debt. All right. Now, let's break it down. Can you give us tips, practical tips, as we start the new year?
All right.
Practical personal finance tips.
All right. So number one, I think you need to have a clearly defined source of cash flow. When I mean cash flow, I mean cash inflow. Is it your salaries? Are you a sole proprietor? Are you doing some side hustle? You need to clearly define them. Okay. Now, once you clearly define your source of income, then you can now prioritize your expenses. Earlier on, we mentioned 3 categories of expenses.
Yeah.
Fixed expenses, that one, no matter what you incur, you have to pay. Rent, utilities, and those kind of things you pay. Then your variable expenses, you have to know how much you incur in them. And sometimes we don't take note of it, but you realize that what you spend in the month of June is even higher than what you spend in the month of May. Meanwhile, inflation is relatively stable. So you need to define your expenses. And then you also try to avoid impulsive buying, most especially now that most of these things that we buy, they are online, or you visit a friend's room, is having something, then quickly you want to buy. Meanwhile, that particular item is not part of your expenditure for that period. So we need to try as much as possible to avoid that. Then again, at government level, we've been talking about import cover. At least it should be 3, your reserve should be 3 months of import cover. Now, the question that I'll ask you is, if you decide to quit Media General today, for the next 6 months, how are you going to survive? You get it? And so, at a personal level, I think we can also do 6 months of expenditure reservation. I mean, you put something down that can last you for a minimum of 6 months, so that in case, something happens and you have to exit your job or something untoward happen, at least you know that for the next 6 months ahead of me, I should be able to, to survive. Then also, the investment bit of it is also important. Don't consume everything. Okay. At least every month, try and put something down, so that in case the unforeseen happen, you can just lay your hands on it.
Okay. And I want to read some messages coming in. Now, please tell this man that we are trying, but it's just not possible. If the there is not there, you cannot force the there to be there. And that's from Ni, okay. And this one from Sharon says, now, I'm not in debt, but I also don't have any savings or investments. The only reason I'm not in debt is because I don't save. The money I earn is exactly how much I need to cover me for a month. Sometimes I don't even eat 3 times a day because I don't want to borrow. The reality is hard. Our money is not enough. It's from Sharon. All right, I read another message. Keep your messages coming in under our live stream. I'll try to read as many of them as possible. Now, can you advise on specific investments? We want one that the government cannot touch.
Okay. So I think we've spoken about this on this platform for a very long time. Since this government assumes office, we have seen some level of commitment in terms of honoring their debt obligation. Now, when you go to the Ghanaian financial market, you can go in for the short-term financial instrument, for instance, the treasury bills. Even though the rates are really down now, but then they are safe. I don't think any government can touch treasury bill. Even in the midst of all the domestic debt exchange, treasury bills were intact. So I would recommend to your friends to actually consider the treasury bills.
Okay.
Then also, I mean, their stocks are there. Most of the financial stocks are doing very well. And so if they want to invest for a longer period, they can go to the Ghana Stock Exchange or go to any brokerage firm. I work with UMB brokers or Melbourne, stock brokers. They can come or buy them, their stocks. So there are so many investment instruments that are there that the government will not touch. And as I did indicate, we have seen some level of heightened confidence in the Ghanaian capital market in terms of government honoring their, obligation. And so the bonds are there, the treasury bills are there, commercial papers are there, the stocks are there. Even the Bank of Ghana gold coin is also there. They can always go in for any of them.
And these are safe?
These are very safe.
The government will not touch it?
The government will not touch them.
No
haircuts. No haircuts.
No hairstyle? Nothing of the sort?
I don't foresee, with the way the economy is being managed prudently,
at the moment.
At the moment, I don't foresee any, haircuts in the near future.
Okay.
I mean, since this government came, they haven't borrowed any, from the international capital market, not even the domestic bond market. I mean, you can see some level of fiscal discipline and prudence. And so we don't expect anything of that nature to happen anytime soon.
All right. Now, please, if you invest multiple insurance, but left with zero income after your other fixed and variable expenditure, can that still count as investment? That's from Dennis.
Can you take it again?
If you invest in multiple insurance, but left with zero income after your other fixed and variable expenditure, can that still count as investment?
Well, yes, that can also count as an investment to the extent that that money is going to generate, income. I mean, that can be considered as an investment. So I think, but to say you'll be left with zero income at the end of the day, I also don't think it's a prudent thing to do because, I mean, Charlie, they say the night is a big thing. You can sleep in the night and something happens. They have to rush you to the hospital. So if you don't have anything that you can easily lay your hands on.
But also get health insurance. Health insurance is also a good finance plan.
Exactly.
A good personal finance
exactly.
plan. Good health insurance, buy in bulk. These are just things I do.
Yes,
right?
exactly.
Bulk purchase, health insurance, proximity to your work, as in or home for your children's school.
Yeah.
It's a good finance plan if you get a good school which is close to your home or to your work, so that your cost of transportation to their school would not be so much. Because some of us, spend hours in traffic trying to pick up your kids from school. And, money is time. Time is money.
That is it.
All right.
And also,
thank you.
Just finally, this time around, most companies are giving discount and promotional, packages to all of us. And so I also think that you need to take advantage of some of these discounts, most especially those who are into the electronics. They are giving 30%, they are giving 25%. And so it is also another key thing that we need to take into consideration because something that could have cost, let's say, 1,000 cedis, you can buy it around 850, 900. So by that way, you're also saving something small. So taking advantage of promotional packages and discounts is also very important.
Thank you so much. Our resident financial advisor, Mr. Nelson Kujo-Kwagbaji. We hope that you learned something from this conversation. And if you missed some of it, you can go back and watch the full conversation on our Facebook live stream. All right, if it's your birthday today, we're sending you love, wishing you a very happy birthday. To Nana Duma Gifty, God bless your new age. For Mr. Kujo Cute, one day. All right, happy birthday, Nana. And Mawena Daniela Adam. Hey, is this Mr. Danny's daughter? Oh, beautiful little child.
I love her shorts.
Happy birthday. That's like the shorts you wore to the all-white party yesterday. Happy Happy birthday. You're 9 years old. Daddy loves you so much. We all love you so much. Happy birthday, Mawina. Mawina, New Year, come for your birthday presents from Beatrice and I. Okay, Beatrice and I.
Yeah.
But come New Year.
Just tell Daddy what you want.
Finished.
And we'll give you more than that.
Also, happy birthday to Recall Aite. Happy birthday, baby girl. Happy birthday. Pastor Samson Obin Tete from Reverend David and the Pasram family. Happy birthday.
I like the name. I've never heard such a name. Pasram.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Jude Etonam Kuduaji. Happy birthday. God bless you abundantly from your family. We have a lot of children today.
Yeah.
That's lovely. Etta Winner Morgan. Happy birthday. God keep you safe. Amen.
Amen.
Edna Nadole Ado from your sister Edith and the family. Happy birthday, Nadole. Auntie Alexis Johnson AEC, cheers to greatness from Nana Ose to you. Ni Note Opimbo Agbo, the second. Kotobabi Manche, age gracefully from Sabina Norte to you. Nana Onkwaso. Emilia Nkrumah, wishing you long life and prosperity.
Have you seen the eye she's giving in that photo?
Yeah, don't be small. It's the hair for me. Harriet Tamaklo, God bless you, my daughter. And that's from Chairman Godwin Tamaklo and the entire family.
Wow. Manasseh Ni Latte. God bless your new age from your parents. We have Davlina Sefam. May God richly bless you. Betiyowusu Duku, wishing you long life and prosperity. Baron at Ofinsu Old Town. God bless you from your friends and family. Alice Nyako, may your day be as bright and beautiful as you are, from your friend Dennis Ej. Happy birthday to you, Alice. Mrs. Abigail Oredu, may the good Lord bless you, from Daniel Opoku here. Oh, lovely, at TV3. Happy birthday, ma'am. Shitopa Mensa, wishing you good health and long life from Daddy Mensa. Happy birthday to you, Shitopa.
It's time to make some money. It's time to make money. If you dial *439# and you're on Telecel or MTN and your phone number is...
Scrolling.
025-625-4****. Congratulations. Check your wallet now. 1,000 cedis has dropped hot in your account.
For the beginning of the week.
And that's our show for today.
Yes.
This is the final Monday for the year, right?
Yeah, it is,
It's
actually.
the final Monday.
Wow.
We wish you the very best of the day and the very best of the rest of 2025. We brought you the show from 6 a.m. This is TV3 Newday. Roland Walker was here. My name is Nash Shoko. I'm here with...
Beatrice Edu. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Bye-bye.